Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. Today, we are looking at when silence is God's answer. When silence is God's answer. Silence does not mean God's absence. Sometimes, silence can be part of His process. It could be there is a call for you to trust, a call for you to grow, a call for you to act on what He has already told you or what you already know. God's silence is not rejection, but many people misunderstand this. The book of Isaiah chapter 45 verse 16 says, "Truly you are a God who has been hiding himself." So, you look at that scripture, you see there is a period where God seems to be distant from us. You don't hear clearly, but He's still there, working and making sure things goes well for you. Silence on its own can be a call to trust. That is when God is silent. It could be a call for you to trust in His processes, in what He has already done before or said to you before. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7, that scripture says, "We live by faith and not by sight." Faith is trusting without constant confirmation. You don't need to be going back, repeating, asking every minute and every second. It is working without always hearing instructions. So what happens? At such a time, you rely on the instructions you already had in the past. That is one. Two, you also go to the scripture and see what the scripture has said about a particular situation or event you are looking for God's guidance. Me as a person, when someone is asking me a question repeatedly, you ask me one, I answer you, you ask me again, I answer you. At some point, I will say, I will ask you, why are you still asking me this question? Are you trying to hear different answer from me? You want me to tell you something that is not true? So yes, sometimes God has already answered you, giving you an answer. And at such a time, now expecting to hear from Him might be a waste, because He knows that He has already given you an instruction and He expects you to follow through on what He had already told you. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13 shows us that sometimes God has already spoken. You can go and read that up. He has already spoken. And when He has already spoken, you cannot be constantly bugging Him about the same thing again that He has already told you. Not every situation requires a new word, a new sign. All the words, all the signs, they're already there in the Bible. And there are those that He has already told you directly. In my own case, there was a time I was thinking of what to do about the situation, and God ministered in my heart and told me that this type goeth not forth but without fasting and prayers. And I fasted and I prayed, and I got solution to it. Now, after a year's time, that situation repeated itself. I didn't need to start going to ask God again, what should I do? I just went back to do what He told me the last time, and I got my results. Sometimes you need to obey what you already know. You don't need to be asking all the time. Silence can be a season of growth, as we see in the book of James chapter 1 verse 3 to 4. Testing of your faith produces perseverance. So, in silence, God may be building you strength-wise, building your patience, building your character, and deepening your faith. Yes, deepening your faith in the sense that what you already know, you need to hold fast to that. We see that in the book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 11. You hold fast to that which you already have. Silence does not cancel God's plan, as we see in the book of Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. Even when you don't hear from God, know this clearly, God is still working. Sometimes faith grows most when God is silent. This is where I wrap it up today, and see you next time.